Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to Homage for Rush, as in Rush Limbaugh, the greatest of all times, El Rushbo. We miss you. We know you're at peace in heaven. My name is Jack Willard. Don't have the talent or the knowledge, but I'll do my very best. As I do this show, it is Wednesday, November the 6th in the afternoon, 2024. And I wasn't sure there would be a fourth edition of Homage to Rush. It all depended on what happened on November the 5th. And let's just say, it went pretty well, didn't it? It went pretty well. Our subtitle, God Gave America Another Chance. God gave America another chance. Yes, he used great Americans in every state to accomplish the task. But God had a vote in this election. I prayed and I prayed, Lord, you say in your word, you will not be mocked. They are mocking you. A defining moment of mock came from the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, when the two young men in the audience who hadn't really planned to speak out had enough of her abortion celebration. How we're going to bring it back. Gee, I wish I could get in there with a forceps and stab that fetus myself. They had enough, and one got up and said, Jesus Christ is Lord. Jesus is King. And she looked at them both with this devilish smile and said, oh, you're in the wrong rally. You're in the wrong rally. That was one defining moment. But the ladies of The View handed us I guess the top defining moment when, was it Sonny, asked her if there was anything that she would change that the Biden administration had enacted. And she paused and said, I can't think of a single thing. And then when they call you garbage, when the President of the United States calls you garbage, and Kareem Jean-Pierre tries to say, oh, he didn't say that. Yeah, you've been saying that since you've had the job. Oh, he didn't say that. He didn't mean that. He corrected it. Da-da-da-da. No, we knew that there was no editing of the soundbite. He called us garbage. And we've been called Nazis. And as John Roberts said on Fox, oh, you're going to call us Nazis? Well, all right, we'll see. But, you know, I start off jovial, but that's not really the way I feel today. I feel incredibly grateful to God and to the fine Americans in every state that stood up for what was right and voted for Donald John Trump, a flawed man like all the rest of us. But man, this guy has been through hell and high water for this country, where he could have had an easy life. They would have never prosecuted him if he just stayed away. But he's been hauled into jail for a mugshot. He's had to endure a nonsense trial in New York City, several of them really, and be indicted over and over again. And yet he has fought, just like when he almost had his ear taken off in Butler, Pennsylvania, and he gets up and raises his hand and says, fight, fight, fight. He's come a long way, baby, since 2015. He's an extraordinary man. And I am going to be proud once again of my president, as I was till Joseph R. Biden assumed the office. But I'm feeling humbled because God gave us another chance as a nation, more glory days for America. All the things that the Biden administration messed up and let the progressives run all over the Democratic Party with one sinful, misguided, hurtful idea after another. After all that, God steps in and says, I will not be mocked. I will not be mocked. And I guess it was predicted long ago in the 90s by the prophet Kim Clement, who's went on to be with Jesus now, when he prophesied that Trump, who was just, then, what was he, hosting the Celebrity Apprentice? He's going to be president for 2 terms. 2 terms. Kim Clement, very interesting, very interesting. And not only would he be president, but he would lead this nation to prosperity and good times for all people. Even the people that hate him will benefit from a Trump presidency. Now, I want to say before we go any further that we'll be live tonight, if you happen to be watching this on Wednesday at, whenever you watch it, because it's a pre-recorded video. If you happen to be watching this before 11 p.m., 11:10 p.m. East Coast time tonight, we'll be live with a special edition of Worldwide Ramblings for Wednesday, about 11:10 p.m. East Coast time. But hey, if you're watching this later, you've missed it, just go to the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, and you'll be able to see it there and comment there, and we'll interact with you there. That's how it works, so don't worry. And Saturday night, we'll do Worldwide Ramblings, God willing, at 10 p.m. East Coast time, and we've got some pre-recorded shows on Pastor Bob Joyce, which I know you love, coming up. Probably Friday we'll have something, yeah. So a lot of my audience is celebrating. It seems I have a 99% conservative audience. That's who I hear from. I don't hear from very many saying, why are you spouting this stuff? They may say nothing at all, but I get a lot of people that are very much excited about President Trump. We're praying that President Trump would get to assume the office, and we hope that's exactly what's going to happen, that evil forces won't try to hold that back. Everything looks good right now. As I speak to you, the Vice President of the United States, who lost in a mandate, will speak to the people at 4 o'clock. She didn't go out and speak to her loyal followers who were getting very depressed in, Harold College. She just left them to leave the hall with their heads hang low. And that's no fun, because that's how we felt when Joe Biden assumed the office. We knew that he was going to be bad for America, but we never really understood who Joe Biden really was until we saw the details unravel before our eyes. Hunter's laptop, etc., told a story. We saw how the Amtrak middle-class Joe got 2 multi-million-dollar beach houses. I would have no problem, though. Let's start afresh. If President Biden would pardon his son, pardon himself if he wants to, they're not going to prosecute him. Trump has no appetite for that. He has no appetite for that. I think a lot of people will be surprised at how great of a president he will be. Oh, there'll always be challenges and challenges we don't know about. But I think a lot of people are going to be very satisfied. Now, if you're for mutilating children without parental consent, so at 12 years old, they can have life-altering surgery and then regret it 6 months later. If you're for that, you won't be very happy, I suppose. If you're for men going into the women's or girls' locker room, if you're for men competing in women's sports, we've had women terribly injured doing this, or almost terribly injured. We had a transgender person punch a volleyball at a girl with such force that she has brain damage. We have people that have been raped and murdered. Lake and Riley, most notably, but there's been many more, by opening the borders recklessly and not really having an ounce of remorse that we can see. President Biden couldn't even get her name right at the State of the Union, where he got screamed at. So we're changing course. And the conviction that I have is I have to change right along with it. If God is willing to give America a second choice, prove that he will not be mocked, then yours truly at 68 years old needs to give it all I got. Not talk about it, but do it. Do it. Do it. It's not about worrying about will I be perfect. It's about doing new things in your life that will make you better. Don't wish that things were different. Wish that you were better. Well, now we've even got things that'll be different. President Trump will know how to get along with President Xi and Putin. He'll get this Ukraine thing solved. Unfortunately, most of Ukraine is a bombed out shell. Well, but we won't be giving away billions and billions and billions of dollars to the Ukraine anymore for nothing. And then saying we can't fund FEMA. Sorry about you hurricane victims. We can't afford FEMA. And my goodness, I bought a bag of potato chips the other day just to celebrate or mourn during the election results. $7. And that's the price that was on the bag, not the price that the convenience store was charging. I thought, well, that's gone up. And everything else has gone up too. Jobs are down and what have you. I believe it's all going to turn around. It's all going to turn around. Yes, I had to tune in and see the look on Rachel Maddow's face, and Nicole Wallace, and Joy, who was joyless. And, I had to indulge that. They did not disappoint, although they were somewhat subdued, just like the ladies on The View this morning were somewhat subdued. I thought, they'll be freaking out, but they realized that, they would just be embarrassing themselves more. I mean, they gave strong predictions about a Kamala win, a Kamala win. And, of course, they were wrong, as so many were. Yes, the polls were wrong. They were wrong. And this sets up J.D. Vance for 2028. I wish it would be Ron DeSantis, because he's still my favorite. He's going to, I think, before President, maybe just as around the time, it's a 6-year term, right, in Florida. He can't run again in the state of Florida, so I hope there's a great job in Washington for him. He would make an excellent Secretary of State. He would make a lot of things. He's someone that is very, very gifted. And but he chose to run against Trump, and that was a mistake. The Trump machine was just too strong. Good people who love this country, who don't want to see us spent into oblivion and then have to bow to President Xi. We want to have a crazy as a fox president in there like Trump, who will work things out. He's really good at that. He's really good at that. He may have some failures. Not everything will work. You never know for sure. But I know we'll see a vast improvement. We're no longer on the verge of World War III. We're no longer on the verge of World War III. We can especially say that after January 20th. After January 20th, 2025. JD did a wonderful job coming against the Jake Tappers and the Dana Bashes and many other people. He knew exactly what to say, and he caught them off guard. And he held back. He could have been a lot more stern, a lot more stern. So I'm at peace. I'm very cognizant of my responsibility. Yes, I voted for President Trump. I voted a complete Republican slate. But here in New York, it's very difficult, very difficult. We heard Governor Hochul berating the MAGA crowd. We could have had Lee Zeldin, a wonderful man of character. But Lee Zeldin, I think, will be part of the Trump administration. So happy times will be here again. And I give all the honor to Jesus Christ. I don't think this will last forever. The good book says there will come a time where evil will prevail for a season. But the judgment seat of Christ will happen as well. So, since the judgment seat of Christ can happen to any of us in a moment's notice when we hit the floor and don't get up, I have to be better. No more time to gloat, but to realize that I'm a sinner who needs to get closer to God. Not just say it, not just think about it, but actually do it. Actually do it. That's the conviction I feel in my heart. I don't want to meet the Lord in my current state of, it was really close to lukewarmness. And the Lord says, be hot or cold. Don't be lukewarm, because I will spit you out of my mouth. Nominal Christianity is not worth anything. It's not worth anything. Jesus said, you worship me with your lips. Most people don't even do that. You worship me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. So we'll do a Worldwide Ramblings at 11:10 tonight, November 6th. If you miss it, just check out the live shows here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. We have a lot of new pre-recorded shows. I've tried to explain what they are to Brenda, for example, but it's just never going to work. Bren. So we'll do that, and we'll bring you up to speed. A lot of stuff has been coming in about the pastor from Benton, Arkansas. But this Homage to Rush show is something I do as a passion project, knowing that building an audience for it is extremely difficult, because the people that might care are watching somebody else. They don't even get a notification that I'm doing this most times. There's a lot of people in this field, but I got something to share too. And I wanted to put Rush into this only in the sense that I adored him so much. And, you know, as a radio disc jockey that thought someday I might do talk, and YouTube is perfect for that, because I can kind of control it and not sound like a dummy when somebody asks me on a phone call to give my impression of a specific from the Civil War or what have you. I'm keeping my phone up for reasons, but usually when we're pre-recorded like this, it's not as necessary. But he was just very special, and he would have been very happy today. He didn't get to see it on this earth, but I hope with all my heart he's getting to see it from heaven, along with Lou Dobbs and many other great conservatives that didn't make it to Election Day 2024. I did, only by the grace of God. And I sat there very anxious in the evening, but also randomly going out into the yard and praying and reminding God that he says in his word, you will not be mocked. These people have mocked you and everything holy. And he came through in a big way. I'm encouraged by that, and I'm very mindful that that comes with a responsibility. It comes with a responsibility for all wise people, all people that would claim to have any faith in Jesus Christ, even if your faith is as small as a mustard seed. Rush talked a lot about his faith in Jesus Christ in his last days. He said, I haven't proselytized it, but I have a very significant relationship with God. And yet we had woke liberals that are so mad, progressives. I don't like to call them Democrats because I think they let their party be stolen away. Goodbye, Chuck Schumer, as House Majority Leader. We're hoping we don't get Joaquin Jeffries as the Majority Leader in the House. As I speak to you, things look good. We've got the Senate, so that means Trump can't be picking cabinet members from there. He wouldn't pick Tom Cotton because Tom Cotton is a war hawk. Other than that, he's a wonderful man, and I agree with everything else he says. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree that the answer is to give them billions more as our country lies in ruins in places like parts of San Francisco, Chicago, Portland. A lot of woke governors doing this to their cities. A lot of woke governors. So we've got a lot to talk to you about here on Homage to Rush, and I hope that you will watch it and even share it on a site that won't embarrass you. I understand there's a reluctance to share this kind of thing. Maybe we'll expand our platforms as well for this, I don't know. We'll see what God has for us. Right now, God is giving me a very active phone. I'm sorry about that. But it's a beautiful sunny day here in the Hudson Valley. My temperature reading says, are you ready for this? Richard Lyon in Palm Beach, where the action was last night and will be again. 79 degrees and mostly sunny, so I'll get out there and enjoy that. Karen is using my car to go to ShopRite for some grilled chicken and salad. So I'll pray for Karen's safety. I pray for it. And I have to catch the vice president at 4:00 as she gives her concession speech. I assume that's what it will be. And then at some point she has to go to the Senate as the vice president of the United States and certify the election. I think if the progressives try anything underhanded, the spirit of the country will overwhelm them. The Supreme Court will overwhelm them. And all of President Trump's cases are dead. They are dead according to the legal, authorities. Jack Smith can forget it. Think about what kind of man you are. And this Jack has to think about what kind of man he is, how I have failed, and how I can physically, literally, spiritually do better. And you can only do that with the power of the Holy Spirit guiding you and giving you that ability to do a better job each and every day. If you want to play a good song on YouTube Music, let me say that first, Spotify, for example, all you have to do is put in Bob Carlyle, Giving You the Rest of My Life. Giving You the Rest of My Life. It's a great song, and Bob Carlyle did many great songs. Of course, he had one pop hit, Butterfly Kisses. So there you go. That's the fourth edition of Homage to Rush, all off the cuff. We'll have clips in various shows in the future and what have you. But I'm feeling peace, and I'm very proud of Donald Trump because he's a flawed man that got better. And that's exactly what I need to be, a flawed man that gets better every day. He's not perfect. He has to deal with the same passions every man does, and many women too. But through hell and high water, he stuck in. They called him every name in the book. He stayed in. He put up with it all. And now I believe God will use him mightily in 2025. Pray for his safety. Pray for his family's safety. And again, Worldwide Ramblings, November the 6th at 11:10 p.m. I want to spend time with Karen. We didn't get much time last night. And then Saturday night, our usual time at 10 p.m. East Coast time, all right? Eastern Daylight Standard Time. It's getting light after 5:15, and pretty soon it'll even be earlier than that. But I got about an hour and 40 minutes or so till the vice president speaks, so I'm headed to the gazebo. You have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you, obviously, if you join us real soon. Please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button if you like this or anything at all that you see here. I also appreciate those who hit the thanks button. Since we used the Rush Limbaugh theme, which is My City Is Gone by the Pretenders, on these shows, I can't monetize them. So when you hit the thanks button for any amount, or you hit the Cash App for any amount, my Cash App handle is lowercase letters Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. When you do that, it helps me tremendously as we try to meet our monthly goal. We actually have a monthly goal here, so I can maintain all my focus here doing this when it's time to work, you know. But when I come on, especially in a live show, it's not work. I have the time of my life with what is a very loyal viewing audience. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching show number 4 of Homage to Rush. God gave America another chance. Talk about amazing grace.